So everybody, this is my opinion on homosexuality and religion. First and foremost, I know that people should be treated with love and, affection. Not to say I'm condoning the actual acts of the person or the idea or the tunnel vision that they have in seeing a future. But what I believe is that, you should never make somebody feel or believe that they've been rejected, but at the same time that there is rejection. And, that, when they say we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory, you can't really bring up what people have done or really what's doing or their poor choices into the situation. It's like, that saying, I don't know what verse it is, like, let go, let God. And, it's for them to, I wouldn't really say change isn't the real, exclamation for everything or answer to everything. I think that is something to not be thought of or to leave in the past. And I feel like there is some things that are abusive for not only the people who are supporting, Christianity and the religion, but also for the homosexuals and the people who believe that this is the way God made them, or this is who have, allowed their carnal minds to create their future. And it's more like it takes time to actually for a person to let something go, to leave it in the past, to start something new, because you're just figuring out everything all over again, and it's nothing wrong with that. And, it shouldn't be an obsession over like gender or whatever the hell is going on. I think that, but I think that, there's no respect in rejection. Or when I mean rejection, I mean, malicious treatment and any type of verbal abuse or creating stereotypes. It's actually a very deep conversation, because the main reason why I wouldn't support the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community and whatever else is being added onto there, because they're throwing these it's worse. It's deeper than throwing a label on a person. It's deeper than it's deeper than just the way a person identifies another person. It's more so like this. It's like when you've done things with your life and you one thing I want to say is I always knew who I was. So, and the thing is, it's just a matter of expressing it. And what I mean is, I was always aware that I had this feeling for, female. And, I don't think that nobody should be able to dictate or control or manipulate another individual based off their past and everybody else's energy or idea, because, it's abusive. And that's the part where, I consider, people who do things of that nature, sex offenders. And I'm not speaking on anything that I've done, because I really, I haven't done nothing. So, it's just the way I see it on the outside. And it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks or how you thought somebody was feeling. It's the simple fact that people would do anything to bring everybody's emotions into a situation where that situation from the past, whether it was dwelling on their conscience or in their mind, it's just the fact that the body will do these things naturally. And you got to work on, things that you have control over, and you have control over what you're thinking. And God, I'm by the train, but God said that, in the Bible it says that, God did not give me a spirit of fear, but He gave me a sound mind. So you have to really put all the other things out of your head, and this is a situation where I feel like repentance is way deeper than just saying, God, I'm sorry. It's actually putting in the work to actually you know, drive your own vehicle. You know, your brain is like a vehicle. You're in control. The body is attached to it. The body is the actual thing being manipulated by the brain. And, you know, the brain doesn't come without a conscience, and that's what makes us who we are. You know, and I feel like, you know, it should be less abusive to both parties, to the, you know, the Christian religion, Catholic, whatever supports Jesus Christ and, you know, is, you know, trying to influence people to follow him. But I feel like, yeah, that is the one thing that, you know, creates the biggest issues, is somebody else looking to take someone else, you know, or, you know, turn them out, take over their life, or have their life, like literally, I call it, when I see it, I say they just had their whole life, like their life overtaken, or somebody overtook them. And it's like, you know, nobody deserves to be guilt tripped, whether you were living a lifestyle of, you know, homosexuality, or you were being molested, or, you know, you're a victim of sexual assault, you know, things like that. You know, there should nobody be looking to drag somebody down, because you never know what's going to come out somebody's mouth, and you really can't sit up here and, you know, use everybody else's emotions as like a power source, because that's the problem with it. You know, it's everybody else's emotions versus the literal physical evidence and truth. You know, that's just what I believe. Because, you know, that, and the thing is, it's more so, I would consider, like, you know, I would consider it to be a delusion. And the main reason why is because this is not the power of God. This is the power of living, breathing human beings. And I know God is a living person, but the thing is, we're human, and this is the power of humanity, or what humans can do to another person. It's more so like psychological abuse. And, you know, you can't change shit about your past. You may feel like you're going to die for trying to change how you feel, or let go of the life that you used to live. And, you know, sometimes it is like, you know, some people have to live a whole entire life of celibacy. And it's because it's their life, you know, and it's the only way they're going to get through life. And, you know, some things are hard for people to accept, because I believe what truly determines sexuality is not your actions, it's whoever you find yourself being. And more than finding yourself being, it's more so like there's a parable or something. I don't think it's a parable. I think it's just a saying. But you can't serve two masters, otherwise you'll hate one and love the other. And, you know, their purpose is to serve a male and to please themselves. And, you know, that's really what it is. And, you know, you can love with who you're with all you want. And it's not my business, you know, not really my fucking, excuse my language, because I curse. But that's just how I feel. Like, you can't put labels on people's sexuality, because no matter what, they chose who they're going to be with, they chose who they're going to love. And, you know, sex can literally be a universal thing for male and female. You know, it's literal fucking sex. You know, you can't sit up here and beat down on somebody for what they were doing with their lives or whatever. And I feel like the only person who's going to make that stuff up for themselves, the person who is actually doing it, you know, like to come to terms, you know, because the world don't take that shit today. You get hella hate. You get too much hate for, you know, coming to terms with your own sexuality. And the thing is, like, when I mean coming to terms, like, it goes against how everybody else saw you. It goes against what everybody else believes. And that shit just doesn't matter what people believe. It doesn't matter what people think. And, you know, I feel like people are, you know, being abused, and, you know, they don't have that freedom to live in, you know, the future or the present. And, you know, that's just the bigger problem. How's it going? But just to you know, I guess to say, to continue to meditate on this, it's more like you will be abused for not doing it. And the thing is, nobody knows anything about how you feel or what's going through your mind, and nobody has the right to sit up here and believe that they know everything about you, but it's so much. It's so much because it's the way they're putting like human beings in a headlock. It's like you got these human beings in a headlock, and you won't let them go until they have truly taken in what you believed and, you know, done some fucking instant changing. And, you know, you never really know how a person is going to agree with that. And then I don't want nobody to be coerced. I don't want to see somebody doing this because they're being coerced, because people have a tendency to do that too. And it's like it's so fucked up, because it's like they can use any little reason or any little, like, you know, detail, because life isn't a fact, it's a detail, and it's multiple details that create this this overlying fact. But you know, that's just what I believe, and it's so much more to, like, you know, I would say to, you know, to taste, you know, because, you know, this is like drinking from a glass of water. You know, you don't know what it tastes like, but it's there, and you take a sip and you have to understand what it's like, you know, because there's people who are, you know, being sexually abused, and, you know, it's like life is not just a building that's only been built 10 feet tall. Life is like, it's skyscrapers and shit that you have to actually go through and find out and look for yourself. But I really feel like it's not demonizing anyone. And I feel like, you know, how is anybody supposed to get better if you're dragging I wouldn't say dragging, but you're going based off a person's past. And the thing is, it's like, you know, it is what it is, and pretty much everybody's done what they can. But people deserve a whole lot more respect. And, you know, I don't like the saying, oh, treating someone accordingly, because no matter if you knew who they are or not, it's still their side of the story. And, you know, it's still more than just their side of the story. It's everything that they believe. And, you know, they would rather to see somebody take that from an individual based upon the idea of life, or the opinion that comes with gossip, and, you know, the things that people will really do to abuse another person, you know. And it's just like, I feel like this is the only solid place only solid thing that I know, and then with what I believe. And I believe that when you're dragging someone out of their little closet that they live in, it's technically not a closet. That's a soul, you know, and that's not your soul. So I feel like that's more like something used to sexually abuse men, and to, you know, I wouldn't even know what to consider it, because it's like taking all the strength away, the power that you have as a man to do what you believe is right. Because that's one thing that comes with being a man, is to do what you believe is right. And, you know, I don't feel like no one has the right to, like, impede on another person because of their state of mind, or I like to call it how they are, because it doesn't matter how somebody is. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It just is a really big, bad situation, and nobody wants to clean that mess up. But I say the main reason why, you know, all right, so looking at statistics, homosexual men have the highest rate of HIV. And just, if you would like to go back into history, when all this stuff broke out, everybody was all for it. Everyone was all for it. And they're still all for it today, but they don't really know how somebody feels to, you know, take over somebody's life, their brain, their idea, or their future. whatever, their consciousness. It's like you're supposed to believe this because of who they are, right? And, you know, I just think that is so fucked up that somebody has to take your opinion and turn it into their life. Or just anybody who's doing something like that, because anything done like that, of that nature, is a sexual offense. Because it's like, you didn't give this person a chance to think for themselves. You didn't give this person a chance to, you know, really come to terms on who they are, but you're going to rape them. And I don't have to consider, you don't have to say it's rape, but you're going to do something against them. Like, you're working against them, and you're coercing them, and you're using the past to just drain them of every little ounce of belief that they have. And that's something that is like literally impossible, because an individual will always stay an individual, you know. But in reality, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. In reality, it's like the freedom that this one person has is being taken from them, because you got somebody up their ass about everything that they're doing. And it's like, how would you like it if somebody's hollering at you and the only thing that results in is, you know, a literal fucking beating, you know, violence. And violence is not the answer all the time. And it's like, I believe that there are delusional, you know, gay men. There really is. How's it going?
Good.
All right. Yeah.
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm making a video. Oh, but my hand's doing good. My hand's doing good.
Good.
Yeah, I had to make sure it was doing good, you know. I had to go to the hospital for that. But yeah, and that's what I'm always going to believe, because that person didn't make a decision for themselves, and yet you're dragging them into this act that doesn't really define how a person feels. It doesn't really define how a person feels, or what they had intended on doing with their soul, right, with their life. And, you know, when everybody closed the book and says fuck that, and then all these other people's emotions are involved, it's that one person who's going to put the world in jeopardy. And then the thing is, you blame them, but you're the one dragging them out. You're the one dragging them out as if you could even fathom what they're thinking just by a glance, a leer, a stare, a glare, whatever. That is so fucking sick of anybody who does something like that, because it's a sex offense. And I hate it, because it's not that I'm trying to stand up for anybody. It's that people wouldn't know how to stand up for themselves, and they wouldn't know the authority that they actually have over their lives, or their bodies, over, you know, because it's the mind, body, and soul. When you do that, you're taking the mind, body, and soul. You're not taking you're taking the person too. You're taking every goddamn thing, you know. And you can't determine how that person feels, but you damn sure can harass, smother, and latch on, and then you already latched on to them. So it's like, you know, this is like when a person feels utterly defeated, you know, but it doesn't really define how a person feels. But this is the main reason why I feel like it's this widespread of HIV, STDs, and all this other stuff, because you motherfuckers are dirty like that, and you feel like that is justice. This is justice, and it's not justice. And it really hurts. It hurts me, because, you know, that's not justice. The way you're using your opinion to control another human being or manipulate. And then the thing is, the world has gotten to the point where they can care less about your presence. Your presence is the most important thing to, like, you know, anywhere. Employment, work, church, whatever, you know. And it's a sex offense to me. So that's all I'm going to believe in. And, you know, the whole transgender thing, it's feminine energy. It's a whole lot of feminine energy. It's like, it's a boatload of feminine energy that people are attracted to, because when you do things that, you know, a female would, the way a female dresses, and the man, you know, it's a natural thing. I'm not saying that that's natural, and, you know, I wouldn't even say anything about it, because it's a crazy ass motherfucking American world.